universe sees all.
Stick around, folks. You're going to enjoy this one. We're going to talk only a couple of minutes about 2 NASA images, and then the rest of the video, the entire video, will be my research and what I caught on the surface of the moon. Morcenius E crater. Some of these images, if not all the ones that I'm going to show you, were scrubbed off of the internet, were taken off of the internet, especially the next one. I know probably most of you have seen this one and the ones I'm going to show you, but to be able to find them and the numbers on the NASA websites, they're not there anymore, I don't think. Quite simply, the same filtering that I do with a negative exposure that you just are looking at right here. Here's with a green filter so that we can see the tower. That, like that, I think is the best way the tower has ever been presented. First of all, it's the clearest view I've ever seen of it, and you can see it's both its shadow on top of it very dimly, and you can see this high rising object that is very unorthodox, and it's odd shapes. There's a whole bunch of things that seems to be coming off of it. I've showed these structures myself right on the channel. We're going to go see a whole bunch more just like this. These elongated rectangles or shafts or whatever they are on the surface. Clavius crater on the bottom left, so you can tell for sure that you can see inside those craters. We really see those objects. Some regular objects standing up off of the surface. Again, not my image, and this, I wouldn't even want to declare it as my image. I got a lot better than that. You can see it's just like my research, except a lot further away, because NASA shows images so bloody far away. That's just how they are. Here's the image that proves that what my technique and my understanding of the moon and what I've explained in 216, filming along the Terminator Line, it elevates the structures like you see here, and we can see the light billowing off of these structures as in reality the darkness is overcoming them at the bottom of these structures, thus showing us a lot of the truth and proof. All those structures are there, and those are all the structures that I'm showing you. All of them. Continually repeating and showing the same structures, and we're going to see it all in my footage. We're going to see a lot more than that, actually. Lines running for miles, hundreds of kilometers, maybe miles or kilometers. I'd say more kilometers, but I've seen up to 600-700 kilometers in a row where these structures or lines are all side by side. Massive cities. These are all the regions that I've showed where the cities are. Recognize the craters? There's the other crater that I'm always showing. The city. We're going to go see it after my own footage. I wanted to show you this. This is an image that was scrubbed off of the internet of NASA so that people wouldn't see all the structuring. Why can we see it there all of a sudden? That's why people didn't believe it. But in reality, it's the Terminator Line showing all the truth.
It's a beginning of a new age.
Why did the astronauts look so upset when they came back from having landed on the moon, supposedly? This is why. Several hundreds of objects and structures, massive, that I've shown, and people in general still don't believe that it's really the surface of the moon, and it is. This massive rectangle structure has many lines and connections, straight like bridges going right across, and this one here, massive strip going up and down a hill, connecting all the craters in a line. We all know that if this is real, what I'm showing, and it is, this is all my research, by the way, no more NASA shit. You could see these UFOs on the surface. It should have sparked the attention of every religious institution in the world, including all mainstream news media and every government. But it didn't. It's not they don't know. It's that they're trying to change everyone's perception. They're controlling the minds of everyone, or trying to control the minds of everyone on this earth. Patches. Is it structures? Is it trees, vegetation? Look at this line, leaving a crater going up and down different levels in a very straight line. That's not natural. Fires, smokes, hazes, explosions, lights lighting up, and even smokes that look like they're running across the craters. That's how I know that the world's mind controlled. Showing 2 UFOs lifting up off the surface of the moon, and some type of panel or shadow that rises up off the surface and illuminates the entire sky, like you don't see on a telescope. All these objects, whether they're biological creatures, alive or not, UFOs, Pentagon, human or alien, they're there and no one's talking about them. But yet now it's really funny seeing UFOs around Earth now that they're talking about the UFO report, and yet no mention of the lights, the freaking lights that we're seeing on the moon. This is Copernicus crater, and all the levels and surface structures that you see there, even light sources, energy sources, they have to be producing some type of energy, including having manipulated the entire surface to dig out and to install all of these installations. Every single image, the rare ones from NASA that showed real structures on the moon, are identical to my research. There's no difference because there's no manipulation in what I'm doing. And when you see connections like that, if you don't get chills, I sure do. Going into the ground, blurry patches, yellow gases and colors, it's all very real. It's all being hidden from you. Everyone's expecting a scientist, an intelligent government member to come up with this high-tech explanation of the moon and how they found the moon, and in reality they're working to hide it. They're not working to share it with you. I have so many structures to show you, I could never fit it all in one video, that's for sure. I'd have to do several documentaries on everything I've accumulated in evidence over the years. And on top of it, it's some really amazing evidence that's a lot more clearer, and there's a lot more hidden things that I've shown out of all the researchers and everything we've heard from people talking about the moon. I'm trying to prove it, and I'm doing it with my own research. These things can only be so many things. If it's not a battle, if it's not UFOs, it's definitely explosions on the surface. But they're moving around like they are intelligent beings or living creatures. You want to talk about towers or towering objects? Well, I showed you one from NASA at the beginning of the video. How about these objects? The craters, you see how they build around the craters and how that white reflective light is just hard to see? Why do I see the shapes like that? It's because I'm filming along the Terminator line. Go back to the beginning of the video. You will see NASA image is all along the Terminator line. You see the black darkness on the bottom here, which is really the top of the image turned around? The same thing in NASA image at the beginning. You have the Terminator line that's showing the structures elevated because the Terminator line elevates objects. Libration causes an optical illusion for us to see objects lying down on the surface. The surface are hard to decipher and differentiate because they have the same reflectivity as the surface itself. It's that simple. That's the secret. That's all they're hiding. Why don't you try and ask NASA astronauts why the craters are all flat? Well, it's normal. It's the way it cooled really slowly, and then everything settled really slowly. They say that there's ejecta flying up off the bloody surface as everything's crashing down and all this glass object is forming, but yet the craters don't have any holes. They look flat. This is the sun, one of my favorites. And I showed you a large object, whether it be Nibiru, People don't care. The large object I showed you at the beginning, I even caught clouds going in front of the camera and eye to show that it's a real large object beside the sun that I caught. I reached a whole bunch of people. Actually, a whole bunch of people reached me, including some CIA agents and retired CIA agents, John Lear, who passed away, who they were all so fascinated as to how I was able to view the surface the way I did. And I'll continue to do so, continue to show the truth to everyone.
Yeah. Aliens up down on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are landing on the moon. Yes, they are up there. Doesn't matter 'cause disclosure's coming soon.